We are live right now, guys. We're live. We are live. Give me a second. I told my guys that I would tag them in the post once we got there, but I'm live now. Um, Watching and waiting for some more viewers to tune in now. Uh, 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 I'm all sweaty right now. Sorry for anybody that's looking at me all sweaty and dumping and all of that stuff. Oh, okay. Got a couple of viewers already coming in. Hey, Melanie, I see you on here. Um, what else we got watching? The most people on Facebook. Y'all here? Y'all say hello to me. Y'all say hello to me if y'all ain't here in the comments. Let me know you here. Got a few more people here. A few more people tuning in. A couple people coming in on YouTube. That's great. What's up, Jaheem? It's good to see you, bro. Um, but thank you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of My Brother, where as always, our goal is to uplift one another, one brother to one brother. I am your host, Maurice Rush, at Rushzilla on Instagram. And today I have a episode that's very near, very dear to my heart. Y'all excuse my sweatiness right now. I don't know what's going on. I must be nervous about the night. Try to dry off a little bit. But hey, Mama, I see you in the comments. Hey, Athena. Hey, Mel. Thank you guys for tuning in. Tonight, if you have not been watching the advertisements, tonight's episode will be about mentorship, and how we can use mentorship to help prevent mugshots, to help prevent people from dying, to help prevent the shootings and the violence in the city, and just the general importance of mentorship in the Black community. So I have some amazing guests with me tonight, man. Some very good brothers that I've known for a while. I'm going to go ahead and introduce them one by one, man. First, I have this has been my guy, man. We rival all the time over football because he's a Raiders fan and I'm a Broncos fan. So we're constantly at each other's neck about that, man. But over the years, man, just his friendship has been incredibly valuable to me, man. He's always there to chat with me, always there to kick it with me, always there to just as a good friend, man. He's the assistant dean at the Russell Byers Charter School. He's one of the heads of the 1111 Home Base Initiative. I'm going to bring on my good friend, my brother, James Fobbs. Fobbs, what's good, bro?
Oh, man, life is great. Life is great. Good to have you. Good to be here. Good to be here.
Hey, man, glad to have you on, man. I love the shirt. Respectable, baby. Next, I have, as my brother would call him, the king of hacking. He's the biggest hack ever, as my brother refers to him as. I met Jamal maybe back in like 05 or 06 at the same church. And ironically, this episode is about mentorship. And when I met Jamal, he actually served as a mentor to me. We done hooped together. We done played football together. We done prayed together. We done cried together. We done worshiped together, man. And just through the years, man, he's been an amazing friend and an amazing mentor. So I'm going to bring on, without further ado, the pastor of Church Done Different, the head of the Peasant Mentoring Initiative, Jamal Vann. Maul, what's good, bro?
What's up, bro? What's going on?
What's going on with you?
Peasant Kings Church. Yeah, that's Peasants to Kings. That's what's been going on, bro. Good to see you, man. I'm glad to be on here.
Hey, man, what you think about me calling you the king of hacking on the basketball
I didn't like
court?
that at all. I didn't like that at all. I wanted to say something about that. I felt vulnerable. The king of defense. You know what I'm saying? Fobbs, tell him.
Crazy.
It's
always hacking when you don't make the shot. You know
what I mean? Right. And then last but certainly not least, look at Mill right there in the comments. You see Mill right there.
I was gonna say Mill had to defend himself.
Mill ain't wasting no time.
Right.
Jet right over.
And last but not least, man, his brother, man, I actually met him through his sister. I went to grade school with his sister, Robin, and I saw her share about all he was doing in the mentoring community. I saw him share a book that he had written titled The Young Man's Cry, and I reached out to him, man, and we've been in constant communication since that moment about a month or two ago, man, and just seeing everything that he does on his page. I've seen everything that he posted, just the conversations we've had. I know that he's really passionate about mentoring. I know he's really passionate about the work with the young men. So he's the owner of Young Men Becoming Men. He's the author of A Young Man's Cry, and I just can't wait to build a relationship with him. I'm bringing on my brother Robert Cooper. Rob, what's going on?
How's it going, good brother?
I'm good, man. It's always good to have a fellow ball-headed brother on here with me.
I know, right? It's cheap to keep it with, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. But thank you, gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for joining me. As always, guys, this episode of My Brother is sponsored by Creations of Hope. Creations of Hope. She does catering, she does cooking, she does splatter. Follow her on Instagram, Sister Rachel, at Creations of Hope. And yeah, so we're going to dive right into the discussion. Let me pull my notes up over here because I was playing music on the background of my phone, so let me get my notes pulled up. But like I said, this episode is titled Mentorship Not Mugshots. And if you saw my post today, there's 282 homicides in Philadelphia already.
Whoa,
282 on the year. And when I actually announced the episode, it was at 247, and that was 6 days ago.
Jeez,
so 6 days ago, we were at 247. Today, we're at 282 homicides. And I think what's so alarming to me this year about the homicides on the city, right, is that it's a lot of women. Like I see a lot of pregnant women getting shot, a lot of children getting shot. I think I saw an article a few weeks ago that said over 100 kids have been shot, not necessarily killed, but have been shot in our city. And you know, I was chatting with Fobbs one day, and you know, we decided that we need to talk about mentorship. We need to talk about standing in the gap for some of these young men and young women as well who just need some guidance. So I asked you brothers to come on. I appreciate everything that you guys are doing in your individual lives about mentorship, and we're just going to dive right on into the discussion. So the first question I have to start it off, like, what did you guys think of the title of this episode, Mentorship Not Mugshots?
So initially, I'll dive in first. So initially, once I understood the concept immediately. You know what I mean? It's a direct correlation. You know what I mean? If we are not bridging the gap, like you said, if we are not reaching back and giving back, and you know what I mean, playing our position in our communities, because that's where it begins. It's our backyard, it's our neighbor, it's our down the street, it's our around the corner, and if we're not taking care of our backyard, then we are failing. So the mentorship to mugshots portion of it, that's a direct correlation to us getting out here.
Yeah, when I agree with Fobbs. It's a direct correlation. I'm fortunate to do a mentor program. I've been doing mentoring I found out the other day this year, Reese, 11 years. I found out 11 years because I mentored guys who come home from prison, and I used to mentor Carson Valley kids who like go to placement, and so I'm in this adult program I'm mentoring now that I do, and one of the young boys had this big afro, like huge afro, and he had all this facial hair, and so like I'm 3 weeks in the program, and I'm like, I know this boy from somewhere. He looking at me like I know him from somewhere. He knew the whole time. He ain't saying to me. 3 weeks in, we finally realized where it was from. He was one of the kids in Carson Valley. And then when I did the numbers, that was 11 years ago. And I was like, 11 years? So I agree with Fobbs. There's a correlation between mentoring and what's going on in our city. And you know what I mean? So when I heard the mugshot, I asked him like, mugshot? What were he talking about? I'm like, oh, okay. All right, I see what's going on.
That knot, he should have made that knot like capitalized. You know?
Rob, what about you, bro?
It's investment. We can invest in them and show them that they have value, because right now they lack the understanding of their value. So if we can show them that they have value and they have something to live for, something that they're purpose for, we can help prevent them from mugshots.
That's true, man. And for me, I thought of it, and like you guys said, there's a correlation. You know, I don't know the exact numbers, but there's like an amazing number of like fatherless or motherless homes in like their likelihood to go into a life of crime. And when I get to the next question, we'll talk about like the difference between like active and passive mentorship. But if you can intervene in someone's life, and you can provide them a moment, just a glimpse that there's something better out here than than the streets. There's something better out here than jail. There's something better out here than drugs or whatever the case may be. If you can do that, then that's what I saw that correlation of. So if you can be someone's mentor, you can avoid them from having that mugshot taken later on in life. So that's kind of where I got the idea from. And I kind of go ahead, Mo.
No, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
No, go ahead. I was about to transition, so you got it.
I went into the 11-year journey of mentoring that population. Like I'm fortunate to deal with the population who they said like was most likely to kill or be killed. So at least 3-4 times a year you'll see me post on my Instagram or something, RIP to a brother that was in my program weeks prior, the day prior. So so what I found out when I went into it with that same mindset, present better opportunity, and I found out I wasn't mentoring that particular population that's doing the shooting, because every mentor situation is not like that. But those who are doing the shooting and being shot in that life, majority it wasn't like make a good decision versus make a bad decision. What I found out, this was a awakening to me, that it was actually this was their culture. I wasn't coming in. I thought I was coming in saying, "Yo, stop, get off the right path, a wrong path, get on the right path. Stop making bad choices, make good choices." Like if that was the option, and it was cultural for them. Meaning, what I related to is it's like going into a Hispanic community or an Asian community and telling a Chinese person, "Hey, stop being Chinese." Like the gang culture and the crime culture is cultural. So it wasn't for them. They didn't see it as good and bad. It was this is how I live. My dad was a shooter. I'm a shooter. You know what I mean? Like my uncle in locked up. My dad got locked up. My cousin in jail. So it was ingrained like 3 generations previous.
Yeah, that was my counter question to you, bro. Do you think it's more culture or systematic? You know what I mean? Because I just believe that because we have the ability to change the narrative of whatever generation that we're in. You know what I mean?
Correct.
We can be the first whatever in our family. So it's completely up to the individual. But now we have to correlate that with exposure. Because if we're not giving the kids the proper exposure, the only thing they see is the violence and the glorification of all the stuff that's the foolishness that's portrayed and put in their face, and they made to believe that this is how they're supposed to operate. So we got to really be careful of the culture versus, you know what I mean, exposure. I mean, but you're definitely correct though, because that's our culture, because we have inherited this mantra that we have to be in the gang bang, or we got to wear our pants down, or we got to have a loud women, or you know what I mean, or if you're a working man, you're a sucker. No,
it's culture.
It's a mind thing.
Fobbs, what do you see in the school? Because I know you work with younger kids, right? So what were you seeing when you were in the school?
I mean, these children are being raised by the BETs and the MTVs and the Fortnites and things of that sort. So what they see, you know what I mean, they don't even come out. The kids nowadays don't even come outside how we did, So it's kind of hard to reach these younger ones, because you actually got to be either in the school, or you got to catch these young men in traffic, or you got to be exposed to their parents. The parents have to kind of like bridge the gap, or you have to have a program going on and somebody comes to your program or things of that nature. So, we got to really be mindful of what we're putting into these younger ones, because they're sponges. Everything that we're putting in front of them, all the music that we're playing, everything that we're doing and portraying, these children are eating that up. You know what I mean? They think that's the way it's supposed to be. They think little Uzi is the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why we got to teach them how to understand their love language. Once we teach them how to understand their love language and help them break the cycles that's been passed on, that's what it's about, actually investing into their love language, so to understand how they love and what they love. And if we can make the connection through how they love and what they love, we can build a relationship, we can bridge the gap. But it's first starting off with breaking them cycles and helping them changing their mindset.
Yeah.
Because they only go by what they see, what they told. And if they don't have the structure, which is lack of the male presence in the home, it's just like the gentleman said earlier. You want them to go from being being wrong to being right, but we never showed them the structure of how to get from here to there.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Let's transition. I know I sent you guys the discussion point, so I wanted to talk about the differences between like active mentoring and passive mentoring, because me and Fobbs, we did an interview yesterday on the podcast, and I'll get into that a little bit later. And something that came up was, like it or not, someone's looking up to you, even if you don't consider yourself to be a mentor. Someone's watching you, like someone is looking to you. So there's passive mentoring where you're not actively engaging someone, but they're still engaging you. And that's what I mean when I say passive mentoring. So I have this clip that I want to play right here, which I think is just like a moment where it's like you're not actively engaging these kids, but you do have moments where you can impact their lives. So I have a couple of clips that I want to play. And they're not like unfamiliar clips. So I'm sure you guys have seen both of them before. So give me a second. Last time I tried to do the screen share feature, it didn't work too well. So y'all pray for me that it's going to work out this time. I test drove it earlier today and it was fine. So, but this clip right here in particular, this was a school in the young man came to school with a shotgun. And the teacher,
the new
the
details
security
this morning in that school scare in Portland, Oregon. Police releasing the identity of the teen who allegedly brought a shotgun to school. We will hear from the hero credited with subduing him in just a moment. But first, what we're learning about the suspect and those terrifying moments. This morning, a first look at the 18-year-old suspect and the weapon police say he used to terrorize fellow students and staff at Park Rose High School in Portland.
I need to make a operators to start heading towards Park Rose.
You see it on TV, but for it to be your life in your school with your friends, I think it's a whole different thing.
Around noon Friday, authorities say Angel Granados brandished this shotgun. His peers immediately alerting security.
Once we heard that there was a gun, everybody just started panicking more. Like people were crying and people like shaking.
Terrified students sheltering in place, huddled together, as witnesses say Granados roamed the halls looking distraught before barging into a classroom. That's when Park Rose coach and security guard Keenan Lowe lunged at the teen gunman, a former University of Oregon standout wide receiver, managing to tackle him to the ground, holding Granados down until officers swarmed the scene, taking him into custody.
Campus security with the active shooter and in custody on the western side of the building.
No injuries were reported, and Lowe.
So that is actually not the clip that I thought was going to play, but I think you guys are familiar with that story. The clip that I was going to play was actually, he didn't tackle the young man.
No, he didn't.
If you've actually seen the clip, he doesn't tackle him. He takes the shotgun and hugs him. He just hugs the young man,
right.
And the young man breaks down crying, and he just hugs him. And I remember watching an interview, and the clip that I was going to play showed the interview where they say, well, like, what made you hug him in that moment where, he's brandishing a shotgun? And he said, I saw the pain on that young man's face, and I said the last thing that needed to happen was him being tackled. Like, I knew he needed to be loved. I knew he needed to know that someone cared. And I think that's just like powerful, man. When you talk about like mentorship, like that is powerful, man. That you can look at this young man and say, man, look, if I tackle him, it's not going to fix anything. He needs someone to know that I love him, that someone cares about him, that someone is thinking about him, and that is what I mean when I say like that's like a passive, because I'm sure he wasn't engaging with that young man every single day, every single week, like you guys, Rob and Jamal, might do in your programs where you're engaging with the same men over and over again. It was a moment, an opportunity to make a difference in a young man's life. And now instead of that young man sitting in prison, he got 36 months probation. He didn't have to do any jail time because someone took that moment, took that opportunity to just love him and let him know I care about you. Like, you don't have to go down this route. And that's what I mean when I say passive mentoring, because like it or not, there are these opportunities. There are moments where you can impact the life, and we walk past them. We drive past them. You know what I'm saying? We run out the store. That's not my problem.
Count them out.
Like, right. That's what we do in those moments that we have to impact a life like that. So, I have another clip. Let's hope this one time the right clip plays. I know you guys know this one too. I know y'all know this one. This one went viral too. This was about the when the two young men were fighting. We're about to fight, and the guy came down the block. Yeah, and the guy came down the block. So give me a second to pull that up. But this is kind of the aftermath about that. That's why I want to play it. It's not actually that clip. It's the aftermath of what happened after the clip. And they're talking about that. And I found that. And YouTube has advertisements, of course. Well, here we go.
1 year since an internet video of two brawling teenagers and a man who stopped the fight went viral.
And as Michelle Miller found out, the fights seen around the world and its peaceful resolution have changed the young men's lives and their New Jersey community.
In the midst of an Atlantic City street fight last March, while young bystanders recorded every swing, neighbor Ollie Miller stepped in.
Everybody in your phones out? Oh, y'all the real cowards. Record that too.
Broke it up, and gave these teens a piece of his mind.
Look around. Who's your advisor? Who told you wrong?
Miller's lecture to the crowd went viral, now viewed more than 36 million times. Words taken to heart by Sheldon Ward and Jamar Mobley.
Why is it different? Because I never had no father figure in my life. So it's like coming from a man, and then it made me look different. Like, whoa, for real?
Nobody told us to style, no, don't fight, no, it's not worth it.
Like he said to us what a father should have said to us.
It's important, yo. Don't make your mom and dad look like this, yo.
What did he tell you then? He said shake hands. And at first he wasn't gonna shake hands. We were still mad at each other. He said he wasn't leaving until we shook hands.
And he was literally gonna stand there. He wasn't gonna leave.
What's not to smile about?
He still won't leave. The teens say he's the big brother they both need, meeting with them at least once a week.
I was living a nightmare but chasing a dream.
To help them work through their own thoughts and emotions. Rhymes and rap music are mutual therapy.
And now you two changed the whole world. And now the whole world think it's cool. Do the right thing.
So you're like the mayor around here.
No, I'm not like the mayor. But I think people, people respect who respects them. But one thing that you will lose is your opportunities in life.
A father of 6 himself, Miller says he just wants to help kids lead better lives.
Once they know that someone's paying attention, once they know that someone loves them, once they know that people are going to be there for them and hold them to account, they'll rise to the occasion.
What a difference a little attention makes.
I just hated this person. I just wanted to fight this person. And now we calling each other brothers.
2 former foes now feel like family. For CBS This Morning Saturday, Michelle Miller, Atlantic City.
Good for Ollie Miller. What a way to bring a neighborhood back together, to show some leadership for these 2 young men and really weave the fabric of a place that much
So much
later.
good has come out of one gesture. It's really extraordinary.
Hey, Russ,
What's happening, man?
You know what was the heaviest portion of that to me? You know what I mean?
What?
The brother started off talking to 2 young men, right?
Yeah.
And then you saw about 12, 16 young men, you know what I mean, around him after a while. Real, it's the exposure. You know what I mean? A lot of the time, these kids are looking for the positive outlet. They just don't see it. They just don't see it in the communities. So now, when something by accident, man is coming out of his crib about to go to the store or something. You know what I mean? You happen to see these young brothers out here wilding out. He intervened. He didn't cast them away. He didn't say, man, these young boys wilding out again. He went and made it his business. You know what I mean? And that's what we got to do as black men in our community. We got to make it our business that we are getting out here and talking to these young men in our communities. Because that's listen, man, we all saw Black Panther. We all saw Black Panther, right? Killmonger wasn't really the villain in this film. T'Chaka was. You know what I mean? He failed that young man. You know what I mean? But it's at the end of a lot of people won't grasp that concept. You know what I mean? I mean, it's African proverbs. You know what I mean? It's the saying: if a young man doesn't feel the warmth from his village,
he'll burn it down.
Takes by his village, he'll burn it down to feel warmth. You understand what I'm saying? So I didn't quote it correct, but you understand you understand what I'm saying. But we got to really, really, really get back to that because it was always a Mr. Johnson in our community. It was always a Miss Bernice. It was always a Miss White. It was always an OG that checked us. You know what I mean? Oh, they always checked us and looked out for us, made sure we was doing the right thing. We have to do the same thing. We got to be the Miss Whites and the Miss Johnson and Mr. Johnson. You know.
Yeah, and I think the most powerful thing about that clip to me is when the clip that I just played was when they were interviewing the little boy, and he said, "I never had a father in my life," and oh man, I'm trying not to get emotional, but like he said, "I never had a father in my life," and he did to me what a father should have done. He was there for me like a father should have been, and like you said, Fobbs, like that was just a moment. You know what I'm saying? He could have walked by. Like, I've seen kids being rowdy and I keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? I've kept it moving.
Yeah.
I'm not proud of it, but he could have been like, oh man, that's just some teens over there being teens, But he took a moment to intervene and he changed the course of those two young men's life, man. He said, it's crazy. I wanted to fight you. Right. I wanted to fight you. Now you're my brother, man. That's heavy.
Yeah.
That's happening in our community.
Like,
what jumped out for me was the same part, Reese's, where he intervened. To be honest, I had to check myself because I felt myself teaching real heavy in programmatic settings.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll be on the streets and I would see stuff and I'll be like, I got so much game I could get him, but I don't know him. I don't have no context. And so I feel like I needed to have a context to engage with a guy and a young man.
Mm-hmm.
But I like in the video where the context was I see like the old school way, like you said, he was the Mr. Johnson at that moment. Y'all rumbling on the block. We gon' I don't know about you. Growing up, I grew up in Pentown in North Philly, near Richard Island, and you was looking for an old head. Like, anybody around here? You out there, you squaring up.
Right.
You know what I mean? You doing this, John. And you look around like, ain't no old heads out here gonna break this up because it's about to go down. You know what I mean? And those days was ending. Like, the old heads walk past, like, dang, look at the young boy. So I think I like what you're saying, Reese, is that seems passive, but it's because it's not a long, elongated mentoring relationship. But I think it's so needed right now because in our day and age, that's life or death. You know what I mean? Like, them young boys, like they want no guns. But in Philly, where we at, they was in Atlantic City. Where we at in Philly?
Right.
That's life or death.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't even, I haven't seen a fist fight in years. I don't know.
Nowadays they say I ain't fighting no more.
Yeah, they don't fight.
Fighting.
It's like, I'll be back. That's what they say now. I'll be back.
and to be honest, I'm looking for advice on how to engage that, like how to engage that more. Like honestly, I'm holding back tears because I got images in my mind right now of young men doing well. I would see them up at Pick State Road. They would come home, talk to them, and I'll get the text message with they join on the obituary. Like, yeah, he got killed too. Like, my boy Reds, he got killed about 6-7 weeks ago. Was doing well, man. Like, and somebody killed him 3 a.m. Like, and it's like, but he was doing, like, he had his mind on, he was doing good. And so you just like they literally are gone. Like, they literally just gone. Like, so I'm trying to figure out how do you engage in that. Like, I talk to guys, I have that privilege to talk to guys before they get to that situation, but it's like I can't prevent getting that phone call because, like, as much as you talk to them and conversate with them, seem like they still don't understand, like, you got to get all the way out the way.
Yeah.
Like, doing good for yourself and still being in the same environment is not good enough. In our city, in Chicago, Philly, hot spots, like, you got to get all the way out the way.
Gotta be gone. Go ahead, brother Ralph.
No, I was just gonna say you gotta help them see their potential and actually literally figure out what they want in life. Once you can find out what they want in life, we can move from there.
See, the thing is, I definitely I agree with you 100%. But it's how do you get you try to get them to see the potential? That's a journey within itself. To get them to like it and fall in love with it, to see their love, that's it. But they still go to 13th and Burks. They still go to Siegel Street. They still go to the environment where what I teach is the environment is not conducive for your dream. See, once I get you, like I done got guys to that point where, like, all right, they got a truck driver's license, they getting a barber's certificate, they doing it, but their environment is not designed for them to flourish.
Right, but if you could show them that we could relate, to say we use a pair of sneakers, for example. Oh, I used to wear those sneakers back in my day, and then that could start a strike up conversation. That's how you can spark the interest.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying the environment I'm talking about the guy who did all that, but he didn't move yet. He's still the neighborhood, the environment, the friends, the car ride. He is a back up top. He is a back at State Road or back in a federal prison, because even though he was doing all that, I got a guy that literally came out the streets, went to CCP, started a business, had a business where he was doing government contracts, had kids. You probably heard about it. The dude that shot his baby mom in the head while she was holding the baby.
Yeah.
I mentored him for 3 years. So I don't know what happened between. We got all that done. He was getting money, had his own truck, had employees doing this thing. I see the news. He on the run for shooting his baby mom in the head while she holding the baby. So it go deeper than once you get through that stage. Is other stages. I'm saying I'm looking for. We could talk about there's other stages after that stage.
Yeah.
Because the environment
I see what you're saying.
Still, you know what I mean?
Brother, here's a good example. You can always it's a direct correlation to the young people, because the young people know who the person is. Just always refer back to Nipsey Hussle, right? A guy like Nip from the hood, he did all this stuff, but Nip came up and then he took care of his hood and things like that, but he never pretty much left his hood.
Yeah.
And the hood wound up taking him away. So you gotta pretty much kind of find something a fine medium that these kids will respect and understand and be able to relate to. That's the main thing, relatability with these children. If we can't really find something that's relatable to these guys or these young adults or these young men or whatever have you, then it's just like with us. You know what I mean? If we're not going to relate to it, we're not really going to dig in. But at the same time, we gotta make it our responsibility. You know what I mean? We gotta make it our responsibility that we are still digging in and still doing that. But you know what I mean, to also, you gotta remember that you did your part. You know what I mean? Don't feel because this brother chose to make his own decisions, because we are all one crisis away from a tailspin. All of us are one crisis away from a tailspin. So
that's heavy.
We really can't judge the brother because we don't know what was going on in his mind.
I know.
Mental health is a major thing.
Right.
Is a major, especially in the hood. And for a guy that's been going left his whole life, right?
Yeah.
For him to come and do the right thing. Yeah. Some people are afraid of the next step. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And that fear is understandable to people that have been out here and is in the world and things like that. But not even to most people that's in the world, though, for real, because a lot of people don't want to take that extra step because we are afraid what's on the other side of it.
Yeah, and I think one thing we said, Fobbs, yesterday when we were on the podcast, man, the thing about mentoring is the hard part about mentoring is you don't always see results right away. Sometimes you might not see results for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. So that's the hard part about mentoring, because it's not always that instant gratification. You might not think they got it. You might bump into them 20 years down the road. Mo, you've been doing it 11 years. You might bump into somebody 20 years down the road, and they just gonna be like, "Thank you, man." I
got a quick story that happened recently. Because I was somebody came to me, my boy Mike from Sharon, Pastor Mike from Sharon came. He spoke like 2 hours on the phone, me just encouraging me, saying the same thing. But one of my young boys, he was real emotional. Somebody killed his mom. I think it was somebody killed his mom, or his mom or his dad. His mom, one of his parents got killed by somebody. He knew in the streets who did it. So he was plotting in his mind, like, I know I wrestle. He said he wrestled every day with when he see the person was coming home from jail, and he knew it was nobody. Only 2 people in the neighborhood knew, him and somebody else. So he was wrestling with killing the person. So long and short is he came and was like, yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm gonna do that. And then he got stuck up by his best friend. And he said in that moment, he just gave him his stuff. And he said because of the words he was hearing us saying in the program, he just, said, take everything. Y'all gonna snake me like this. Y'all set me up. Y'all lying me. Take it all. And so like a year later, I seen him coming out the Poppy store. He was like, yo, man, I started a food business, man. Check out my Instagram. I'm doing culinary arts now. Yeah, some yeah, I need some stuff. But it was like that moment where I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, some joints turn over quick, and like you said, Reese, some joints it'd be 20 years from now. Right.
And that's a good point to transition to my next question for you guys is, what are some characteristics of good and bad mentors. Like because there are some bad mentors out there. Like as much as we want to say everybody is a great mentor, there are some mentors out here who aren't the best. So what are some good characteristics that you want to look for in a mentor? What are some bad characteristics that you should be wary of in a mentor? Rob, you've been quiet, so I want you to start off with that one, bro.
Some good characteristics is what the mentor values, what the mentor love about himself, what the mentor has to offer to the young man.
Yeah.
And bad characteristics are the mentality of the mentor.
Yeah.
If he grew up without a father, he's not really able to fully be aware of instructing to a certain extent because he grew up different than what the environment the kids may grow up today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think you hit something from what you just said when you're like the mindset of the mentor, right? And all I could think of is there's some dudes out here who are mentoring, man, and like with all due respect, they're not really interested in the kid as much as they try and get at the kid's moms. Like, let's keep it real. Like, I mean, like these dudes out here masquerading, acting like, look, like, yeah, I care about your kid when all they're trying to do is, I don't know if you ever saw the Wire. If you remember The Wire, in the final season, the guy Cuddy who had the boxing gym, he was, teaching the kids how to box, and he was messing around with the moms. And one of the little boys was like, "Man, I'm not coming back to this gym no more." Like, you trying to talk to my mom. So like that mindset is real. Like, what are you in it for? Like, are you looking for instant gratification? Are you just, clout chasing? Are you looking to chase a woman? Like, are you in this to say, yo, I really want to impact these young men's life? Like, I really want to see him win. I see so much potential in this young man. I see that this young man could be the next president. He could be the next doctor. He could be the next councilman. Like, I see this potential in this young man, and I do not want him to go down the road that so many others have gone down. So I'm going to invest my time. I'm going to invest my resources. I'm going to invest that into this young man. And sometimes what that looks like, right? When you're mentoring, and Maul, Rob, and Fobbs, I know y'all can attest to this. You might be asleep at 1 a.m, and one of them little boys will call you. They will call you at 1 a.m. Yo, man, I was at a party. I'm stranded. You got to get out of bed to pick them up. You driving 1 a.m. You got to leave your family. You got to leave your household. You got to leave the comfort of your home to go pick them up. That's powerful, though. Like, that's powerful. It means a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes that looks like you got to go to his school and check with his teacher because mom can't get off of work. Because she by herself. So you gotta go be there. You gotta be that father figure in the school. But that's powerful. They're gonna remember that. Sometimes that looks like you only got $50 in the bank. He needs $20 for this class trip. You give him that 20 and you live off the 30 for the next 2 weeks. They don't need to know what you got in the bank, but it's powerful. That matters. That'll make a difference. Like that's what you got to do. That's how you make an impact in these young men's lives. That's how you keep them off of these streets.
Yeah, bro.
I'm sorry, I'm getting all passionate and hype now, man. I'm gonna let y'all talk. I'm starting to get fired up over here, man.
When I call you for that 20, that's why I'm calling you. I call you because I need a whole side cash out. That's why
you older than me, Mo. I need to be hitting you up, bro. Nah, man, but those are some good characteristics, man. And I mentioned some of the bad ones. You guys can elaborate on some of them that I might not have mentioned. Fobbs, Rob, Maul.
Hey, I would say the characteristics of a good and bad mentor is actually your word, man. You know what I mean? Your word. That's the main thing. You can't say you're going to be there for this young man, and then the first time he call you, you're not available. You know what I mean? Because these children are looking for the mentor because they have been failed, and we can't be the failure to them. Now we can't be there for them all the time at every time, but we have to make ourselves available. If we say we're going to do something, we say we're going to be there at 8 o'clock. I can't come at 6, but I can come at 8. If we say 8 o'clock, we got to make sure 8 o'clock we're there. You know what I mean? So that's some characteristics of a good and bad mentor. You know what I mean? You can't. Your word, man. Your word is everything.
Your word is everything.
Especially these black kids, man.
I agree. Both Rob and Fobbs. What I wrote down is when we teach mentors, we tell them commitment, consistency, your chemistry. Like you got to be authentic to yourself. Kind of like Rob was saying, you got to really check your motives. Cause like you said, you be like, oh, these moms dropping these kids off. Oh, I'm in this program, or you know what I mean, or I want to be a mentor in football program because I never made it, and I'm really just living vicariously through these young boys. So you know what I mean, or it's all kind of motives, and we all have motives, and I had to work through different motives. One of the motives I had to work through was that I didn't grow up in the streets. My mother and father protected me, from the streets. To my mother, and then later on my stepfather came in the picture, he protected me. So I was in the hood, but I didn't grow up in the hood. You know what I mean? Like Reese, I think your story is similar. Like Reese, we grew up in the hood, but somehow I don't know how I went to college. That's the miracle, right? Like Reese was in the you know what I mean? Reese, you tell your story.
I was in Richard Allen.
Yeah, Reese was in Richard Allen, and like, you know what I mean, went all the way to college. Like, who does that, right? So what I found out was that my motive for mentoring was I felt like I still had something to prove to the streets. So I'm here talking to thugs and working with quote unquote thugs or young kings that's lost, however you want to phrase it. And it gave me some sort of a feeling good because I'm mixing it up with this crowd that I've lived around all my life, but they have a voice with.
Yeah.
And I had to realize that, you know what? Thank God my mom kept me out of that. And now my motive had to change to this. We got an epidemic in this community of black men killing each other and being underdeveloped and underperforming. And I'm just trying to change the narrative. I'm just trying to do my part. And so once I changed my motive, so I think motive is important. I think bad mentorship is when you try to be the dad. You slide with mom. You ain't keeping your word. You try to be buddy. Like, all right, you listen. You say you're gonna be like kind of like Fobbs. Your word got to be everything. I just started giving my number out 2 years ago, and I like they ain't gonna use it, man.
Use that junk.
Yo, and they don't have no Reese. They don't have no like ethics with the joint. Like they don't have no rules. Like the 1 a.m. phone call, and it'd be like a quick, yo, can you come pick me up? My girl tripping. I'm about to smack out of her. Can you come grab me? Bro, where you at? I'm in the Northeast.
Right. You be like, I'm in Southwest.
I'm in Pitt. He like 10 minutes later, he like, no, we worked it out. I done rearranged my whole schedule, taking Zoom meetings. You know what I mean? Told my daughters I can't go to the dance recital. 10 minutes later, no, we worked it out. You know what I mean? I'm cool. You don't got to come get me. You know what I mean? Or the other joint, you probably relate to this Fobbs. I don't know if you're getting this. They don't have no etiquette on Cash App.
Oh no!
They don't say hi. They don't say bye. Right. They don't say boo. Request. They just send you a request for $25. I ain't see you in 6 weeks, nigga. Like,
yo, I got a comment right here from Melanie, guys, and I think it's heavy. Consistency is key. It takes a lot to earn these kids' trust, especially when so many adults have failed them. And that's right there. Just knocked it out the park with that comment, because a lot of adults that their fathers failed them. In some cases, their mother has failed them. Family members have failed them. Brothers have failed them. Friends have failed them, and they're wary. So consistency is key. Just taking those moments, those times to talk to them, to invest in them. I had a young man that I was mentoring, and I remember like he was starting to be a knucklehead, man. And I went and picked him up, and I have a friend who works in the juvenile detention center. And I called my buddy. I said, yo, can you talk to my youngin' real quick? And he was like, no problem. And we pulled up right near Strawberry Mansion High School. We pulled up. It's maybe like 8:30 p.m. on a Friday night. And he just stood out there and chatted with my youngin' for like an hour. And told him, like, look, you don't want to stay on this path. This is what it's like inside the juvenile hall. Like, this is what it looks like. And I got in the car to pull off, and the boy looked at me and said, yo, thanks, man. Like, I really needed that.
Yeah.
Like, legit. He was like, yo, thanks, man. I really need that. And, right now he's about to, he has twins on the way, man. He's, like, super excited. He's going to be there for his babies, man. It's just super dope to see, to know that I could have played the part. And that's the gratification. That's the good side of mentorship, when you know that you played the part in keeping somebody on the right path, right? So that it's very, very, very satisfying when you're in it for the right reasons, right? And you really just want to see these kids win, because when they do win, man, like when they do win, it's just like your son won. It's just like your brother won. It's just like, I mean, like you there.
Yeah, it's so rewarding, man. It's so rewarding.
They start inviting you to their graduations. You in the graduation just as hype as they mom, right? Because
the dopest part of that, John, is it was organic, bro. You know what I mean? That's one thing about the youth. They can read you. If it's not real, they really don't want to be having no parts of it at all. And the young man was accepting to what you was exposing him to because it was real. You understand what I'm saying? That's the part of the motive, John, as well. You got to be real. You can't be
right.
You can't have no ulterior motives dealing with these youngins.
Yeah.
No, you can't. You're super transparent with these kids. I mean, like they're gonna see right through you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta be super transparent. You gotta be 100. Everybody wants to about being 100.
And you don't gotta be a gangster to be a mentor. If you don't gotta be, you gotta be yourself though.
Yeah,
definitely.
But in order for it to be yourself, you got to peel back some layers to get them to see who you are.
Oh yeah, you absolutely got to get yourself in the place of being healthy, Rob. Yeah, that was good.
That was it right there.
That
was real good, man.
Like, a lot of times as men, we're not able to open up and express ourselves.
Oh yeah, talk that talk, bro. Talk that talk, bro.
we don't open up because we never had that chance to be able to express ourselves because our emotions was killed earlier. I use a phrase all the time. But when we're younger, once we fall down as boys, what we're told, we better not cry, right?
Better not cry.
Right. So that emotion is cut off. So once that, now we got to create our own false sense of toughness, our own false sense of whatever it is to protect ourselves. Because inside we're vulnerable because we want that love, we want that attention, but we don't know how to go about it.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to expose to these young men, though, the vulnerability, because a lot of times they feel like they're the only person in the world going through it.
Y'all talking good, brothers.
But the boys preaching, Ma. I thought you was the only preacher in the chat, bro.
No. John said peel back the onion.
That's transparent. That's what we need.
Yeah, you got to.
I take $5 offering.
Yeah.
Hey, Reese, on Sunday, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna end my sermon with the peel back the onion analogy.
I see my cash.
It's time to cry. I'm gonna have an onion up there and everything, peeling it back.
Oh man. No, man, but that's heavy. And I think that's one thing about mentorship that even me, when I was working in the role, heavy in the role of a mentor to the young men at my church, that I didn't realize you got to teach them to be able to express their emotions, man. And you got to be in a good headspace yourself as the mentor. Like you got to get this together yourself before
now
you pour into somebody else.
Come on,
like,
Reese,
so
now
if you not good right here,
then
I mean, you say he come to talk to you about his girl, and you like, yeah, man, my wife getting on my nerves too. Yeah, you messed up, right? Because you ain't worked through that yourself, right?
Or even use something that's going to get his young boy toxic traits, or you you got to be aware and cautious about what you're putting out to these young folks, man. They're soaking up everything. A lot of like I said last night, my grandma used to say, "You might be the only Jesus somebody might see."
Right.
So you like that's, and that really got to be your outlook on it. You never know, man. They look at you like you are big dog, you dad to them. Some of them, you know what I mean? And if you're not maintaining or giving them dadly things, and you doing this young man in disservice or injustice.
Yeah, man, that thing is so real, man. Like getting yourself healthy, getting in the healthy. See, Fobbs, we talked about this one day, man. We done normalized trauma in the Black community, right? We normalized it, right? So we think that this stuff that we've experienced, because everybody else done experienced it, we think that is normal. So like we all messed up as Black people. Like, we done heard gunshots, we done ran from bullets, like, I mean, we done walked over crack pipes. I tell you a story, man. I had a girlfriend, one of my ex-girlfriends, right? I was telling her about how to get to the playground, right there, 8th Street Playground near Pentown Mall. We used to walk over crack balls. And like I was walking to her one day and she saw one on the floor. She was like, "What's that?" I was like, "That's a crack ball." And she was like, "How do you know that?" And I was like, oh, I used to walk over them all the time to get to the park. And she was from the suburbs, right? Yeah, she was from the suburbs. So
down to
so she was like, she was like, you really walked over crack vials to go to the playground? And I'm like, yeah. Like in my mind, I'm like,
you're trying to figure out what's the problem,
right? Yeah, right. Who didn't walk over crack vials to get to the playground? Because that was my life. So we done normalized this trauma, right, in the Black community. So everybody thinks that this stuff is normal, man. But we messed up. So I say it like almost every episode, man. We need therapy. Like I'm currently in therapy, man. Like I am currently in therapy, I never cried so much in my life, bro.
I tell people, I'm like, I used to be a recruiter for a counseling program. I was like, everybody, if you from the hood, you ain't no issues with it. You should have that stigma about therapy. Like everybody that's born in the 191 and Southwest North, you have trauma. You just don't know it because you normalized it. Like if you walked outside and somebody got like in the hood, you could be sitting in the living room chilling, and the next moment somebody got killed on the corner, and like that, you know what I mean, like that's a normal life growing up. Like you in school, and there's a rumble in school. Like when I was in college at Eastern, my roommate, boy named Craig, he was a white boy, and he was like, I was like, so how they had fights in your school too? I said something like that. So he was talking about somebody got pregnant or something. He said they get pregnant, they used to have abortions or whatever. I'm like, oh, they used to fight too? He's like, fight. I was like, yeah, he was like, nobody fought in my school. I'm at this point, I'm having a moment like, what are you talking about? Nobody fought, like,
right?
He's like, no, if you fought, you would get sued. Your parents would sue them.
Get sued.
Man, at that moment, I realized I had a different childhood than he had.
Was you about to say,
Traumas
Rob?
are normalized because we could speak for the Black community. I can speak for myself in my household. My mom didn't believe in getting mental health, mental therapy. She didn't believe in that. So that's why a lot of things are normalized, because we don't have that structure and that understanding, that knowledge of this is actually going to help me become a better man.
Well, that brother preaching again over there. He preaching again over there, man. Rob keep dropping these gems.
This is bad, right? This is bad.
Right.
This is bad right there.
No, because that's heavy though, because we do get that in the Black households and the Black families. So keep your business to yourself.
Yeah.
I mean,
once sweep it up the carpet.
Right. I mean, so you have all these like traumatic experiences, like literally traumatic experiences, and you're taught your entire life not to talk about them. So we grow up these damaged men, and we think it's normal because we're around other damaged men. And I'm telling you, man, I've been in therapy for 4 weeks. I've never cried this much. I've never this emotional, man, like I've been, no lie, my birthday was on the 10th of this month. I turned 32. For like the last decade, I've been like really depressed around my birthday. This is the first time in 10 years that I wasn't depressed on my birthday.
That's great.
And I was talking to my brother about it, and I was like, yo, man, I'm not sad this year. And he was like, therapy. Like, that's just what he said was like therapy, man. So it helps. It helps. Get yourself together. Teach these young men that it's okay to be emotional. Like one thing my therapist said to me was, that's when I first started, I told him like everything was making me cry. And when he told to me, he was like, look, like you don't gotta let everything make you cry, man, but you gotta know when you can be vulnerable. Like you can be vulnerable sometimes. You don't always gotta be like this tough, like shrew guy. He's like, so pick some people that you're okay with being vulnerable with. Pick some moments, some spaces that you're okay with being vulnerable in.
Bro.
Work through that stuff. Like work through it. And man, that couldn't have been like the some of the best advice I've gotten in my life, because I spent my entire life thinking that Black strength was suffering in silence, right? That's what I thought that it was to be strong as a Black man, was to sit there and be quiet, to suck it all up, to never say nothing. I mean, to be that guy that's dying on the inside but walking out smiling. I thought that was strength. That's not strength. That's stupidity.
No.
Like that's stupidity. Like it's
that's how you become sick.
If I can say that, to encourage you, Reese, when I like you said, I met you like in 2005, 2006, and I remember I met some of the realest dudes I ever met. When I met Reese and Rock and Herb and Mill and the whole crew, these are some of the toughest gangster Christian men I ever met in my life. They were like Rumble, and then go to choir rehearsal. It was like weird. They were like, yeah, in this fight, you know what I mean? They would be in this like royal, and then go to choir rehearsal and be like, and so then. I remember I went around Reese and them around your way, and what's his name was around there? What's his name? Marty and everybody. And I saw y'all grew up in Richard Island, And I'm looking at you like, it was like an enigma. Like, Reese, you grew up in Richard Allen. How are you articulate, go to church, in college? Like, but at the same time, I can see like what you're saying, like you had to learn to survive that environment. And then when you finally come out of it, you don't realize how many things if you've adjusted in your mind to survive. Like Richard Allen is, you know what I mean? Like everybody knows in Philly, like,
right.
You didn't survive it. Let me tell you, and Mill, y'all like thrived in it. Like y'all, like I don't know, you had some dope parents. I don't know. It was always my question, like, how did they do that? I always wanted to know, as a question in my mind, like, how did Reese and Mill and Marty, how did y'all do that? Like, it don't make sense to me. Because y'all like really thorough, scholarly, high level brothers. I saw the tech on get like I'm hired Reese to be my admin for the church.
Firstly, let me say, just because people are from the hood doesn't mean that they're unintelligent. Some of the smartest men I've ever met in my life have been in the hood, like plain and simple. It's just a matter of showing them like showing them not to suppress their intelligence, right? Because I feel like sometimes growing up in the hood, you feel like you have to suppress the fact that you're intelligent, the fact that you don't want to be in the streets. Like you feel like you have something to prove. Two, I had some amazing mentors along the way. Like I can't say it enough. I had some amazing people. I remember I was really, really cutting up and chasing girls in high school. And it's probably one of those passive mentoring moments. A teacher, Mike, big fat white dude. I'm sitting in class one day. He pulls me out the class, and y'all excuse my language because I gotta get a little vulgar because this is really what he said to me. He pulls me out of class. He was like, "What the hell are you doing?" So I'm like, I've never talked to Mike before outside of, "Hey, what's up?" He's like, "What the hell are you doing?" I was like, "What?" He was like, "You throwing your life away, man." I'm in 11th grade. I'm like, "What you talking about, man?" He was like, "You throwing your life away. You chasing these girls around. Like you're one of the smartest kids I have in the school. Like you're in the top 5 in your class. And you're sitting here throwing it away. Like, what are you doing with your life, man?" Like, he didn't have to do that. Like, I left that office and I was like, gosh, man, like, people notice me. You know what I'm saying? Like, people care about me. Like, he saw value. White man, too. White man who saw value in my life and thought it not robbery to pull me out of class. Like, he didn't catch me in the hallway. He came to my classroom. I mean, he looked up in the computer what my schedule was, came and got me, pulled me out, and talked to me for like 15
that Fobbs?
Like, that's powerful, man. Like, oh my gosh. So I was blessed to have people like that in my life who just believed in me. And I mean, I'm Christian, so obviously God played a huge role in that as well. You know, like, look, I'm not going to sit here and say, like, I've run from gunshots before. I've never been shot, but I've been outside playing and they started shooting and I run. You know, like, I've just been blessed, you know. But I get that often, though, Ma. Like, I literally was just talking to someone last night and I was like, yeah, you know, I grew up in the projects. And they were like, looking at your Facebook page. I just thought that, like, you know, like you had loving and, you know, like you just like had this great, amazing life. And I was like, nah, like, I'm like, it wasn't terrible. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, I mean, I had to, you know, fight for every scrap that I got, but, you know, like I was blessed, man. And, you know, my mom did an amazing job. My dad did an amazing job. And I had a lot of people along the way who thought it not robbery to invest in me, to invest in my future and to keep me on the straight and narrow path. And that's what we got to do, man. Like, that's it. The first person to ever cry on one of my episodes, I'm giving them a free T-shirt, just so y'all know. So if one of y'all want to get y'all tears out, y'all let me know because I got some T-shirts in the trunk and I'll drive it to you tonight.
I'll buy it, bro. No, but it came to my mind when you know when Ma was saying, you know, how did you guys make it? You know what I mean? It's not where you from, it's where you at.
Yeah.
It's really not where you from, it's where you at. You know what I mean? And if you got aspirations to leave where you're from, you're gonna do anything in your power to get out of there. You know what I mean? And some people are able to manifest that on their own, and some people need direction, and some people never get it. My grandma, I'll go back to my grandma a lot. She used to say, it take all kind of people to make up the world.
Wow.
That's how you where you stand. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's all kind of people to make up the world. So there's going to be some people that's failing. There's going to be some people that's winning. But you just got to make sure that you're on the right side of it, and not just thrive on your own. Reach back and bring somebody with you. Show somebody what you know. You know what I mean? Give somebody what you got. You gotta give game. You gotta give game.
Yeah.
And I appreciate this forum though, bro. This is a good jump right here.
Yeah.
Good
job, Reese. Good job, bro.
Boss, what I tell you yesterday when we talking, I said your testimony ain't gonna help nobody if you keep it to yourself, man.
You understand?
You're like, sorry, you ain't gonna help nobody if you keep it to yourself, man. So you know, great. I mean, I'm glad you guys came on. I know we kind of deviated from the questions I sent y'all, man, but it was good. I always like to end and let y'all plug, you know, the various ventures and things that you guys have going on. So I'll let you go, Rob. I know, Rob, you done author, basketball coach, mentor, apparently pastor. So Rob, you go ahead and talk about what you got going on.
I'm a family engagement specialist, millennial trauma expert. I'm founder of Young Men Becoming Men, author of A Young Man's Cry, author of The GOAT, which should be released in a month or two.
Wow. And where can I get a copy of A Young Man's Cry?
I can actually, you can go on Robert Thomas Cooper Jr. That's my Instagram tag. You can click on the link, purchase the book. The book mailed out to you within a day or two.
Robert Thomas Cooper Jr. I'm going to post that on the screen for my viewers. That book is titled A Young Man's Cry, written by my brother, Robert Thomas Cooper Jr. It's an amazing book, and he's an amazing guy. And I know you're doing some great things with Young Men Becoming Men.
Yes. And do family engagement sessions.
And talk a little bit more about GOAT for me, bro, because I'm not even familiar with that.
Well, that's to let young men know that their greatness over their trauma and their adversity they experience in their life. We can show them that they have greatness.
Trauma and adversity.
Yeah. So we can show them that they have greatness, and we can help them get over.
That's nice.
What you say?
Good, man.
That's dope. That's dope.
That's a big acronym right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what we calls on the basketball court.
Hey man, when I think about GOAT, I think about my jump shot. But
oh man, you said GOAT.
We ain't say broke. You said GOAT.
Yeah, he said GOAT. Not.
What you got going on, bro?
Oh man, first thing first, I want to say shout out to everybody in the home 1111 Home Base Initiative. We are nothing without each other. When we are each other, with, you know what I mean. Everything with each other. You know what I mean. It's a group of 5 of us. We actually came together. Four guys and a young lady from West Philly. We came to Collabo, and actually it all spin off from a good brother of mine named Calvin, Meta English. He actually started off from the Father's Day cookout, and things just started to spiral from there. And next thing you know, we're Saturday, August 22nd, we will be doing our first annual book bag drive on 65th and Lansdowne, on the corner of 65th and Lansdowne. Come on out, bring your masks, bring your smiles, bring your thank yous. And then Sunday, Rush and I, we are actually going to Collabo to get this peace rally going on, the peace walk. We will be meeting at Broad and Poplar at 4:00, and we will be marching downtown. Bring your signs, bring your masks, bring your good vibes, bring the energy that we need. The book bag drive actually starts at 11:11. It's going to it begins at 11:11. It's going to end at 3:11, or until the book bags are going. So I just thank you for the avenue. Thank you for the exposure. I appreciate you building with you gentlemen. And we're not done yet. We're not done. I think we're gonna continue to build, gentlemen.
Absolutely not, man. Like we could have went for another hour, but I tried to be respectful of my viewers' time. Maul got too many titles, man. I don't even, that boy. The first time I ever heard Maul preach, he ended with a rap. So I want to ask him to bust out a freestyle for me.
No.
But no, I was actually just listening to one of your tracks yesterday, man.
Wow.
Murder, real rap. I was really just listening to that joint the other day. Been a bloody murder.
What's up, man?
But no, talk about it going on.
Well, thank you, Reese, for having me on, having us on. This is a dope platform. I pastor Church Done Different. We're different because we try to create community. And I really learned that a lot from hanging with y'all, Reese. Y'all had a strong community that was deeper than the church, and so I took that with me when I became a pastor. Like, Sunday mornings is just time to get together and hang out, but really, the community beyond that ain't nothing. So then I'm the CEO of a mentoring program, a 501c3 called Peasant Kings Mentoring. The website for it is peasantking.org. Peasantking.org. So you can, follow Jamal Vann on Instagram or Facebook and find out more. But that's the website. And I need mentors. I need more guys. I would love for y'all, just men. I would love to help what you're doing, 11-11, what you're doing, bro. If you need help, and vice versa. Come out and speak at the program. We're doing Zoom calls now twice a week. And till COVID breaks or whatever, but we always need guys to come out like y'all and just speak, Reese. And so that's what I've been up to. Just trying to build community one family at a time.
Sign me up, man. I'm down. We're seriously. It's not nothing. Just sign me up. Give me a time. Give me a date. I'll be there.
I'll see my information.
And you at Russell Byers Fobbs?
I'm around. Yeah. Yes, sir. You went off the screen, Maul. Yeah.
Hold on. My John messed up. Oh, here we go.
Mom with black on it. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, what's going on? My daughters went there last year.
Who's your daughters?
Jemai.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Jemai.
Yeah.
Jemai and Justice, my baby girl. They Jemai just graduated.
Yeah.
Jemai, come here, sweetie. They was there, and she's going to Mercy now.
Yeah.
Come here right quick.
Patterson, right?
Huh?
Patterson.
Jemai Vann.
Vann. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What's your name? What would she call you?
Mr. Fobbs.
Mr. Fobbs. You know Mr. Fobbs?
What's up, Vann?
From Russell Byers, I'm gonna join. She like, Daddy, don't get me on that camera. Please don't do that.
Nah.
We're in a program together. She's like, why are you talking to him? Why are you talking to my teacher? She ain't in trouble.
I'm everywhere, Van.
Come just peek your head around. Just peek your
It's a bunch of other people. That's so weird.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's so weird.
All right. Thank you for coming on the program.
Man, what's up? Yeah.
That's her hand. That's her hand. That's her hand.
No, that's
class, man. No, you. Matter of fact, Mar, I remember now. You see me a few times actually coming through when you and I used to take care of the lunchroom all the time, man. I used to be right there.
Yeah. There's a couple good brothers down there at Russell Byers. Yeah, there's a couple good brothers down there.
But guys, man, I appreciate y'all coming on, man. I do. I really do, man. I think this was heavy, man. Like Bob said, this coming Sunday at 4:00 p.m., we are meeting at Broad and Popular. We're going to march down to City Hall, man, because we just trying to stop the violence in our community.
Okay.
It's not a long walk. It was something that we talked about for a while, but in order to like, you just got to do it eventually, right? So, like, you talk about it. You see people share these articles all the time on Facebook about being outraged and stuff. But eventually, you just got to put your foot down and do something. So, we.
So y'all doing it this week?
Yeah, this Sunday. This coming Sunday at 4 p.m.
4:00.
Oh, that's you, Fobbs?
That's us. Me and
that's me and Fobbs. We collaborated.
All right. So 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. Cause service.
All right.
I'll send out the flyer.
All right, say less.
We're gonna meet up at Broad and Popular, and we're just gonna walk downtown, man, with signs, masks, and shirts, man. So thank you guys for coming on with me, guys. Thank you to all my viewers, guys. I am proud to announce, I wanted to wait till the end of the episode, but I do have another sponsor for next month. I was very, very happy to have my sister Rachel sponsor me for the months of July and August. But I do have my brother Adam, who just wrote this beautiful book, Ready for Relationship. he's graciously sponsored my streaming service for September. And also he donated 4 books. So in the month of September, I will be giving away 4 of these books to my viewers for free by the grace of Adama. So
shout out to Adam, good brother. That's a good brother.
Yeah, real good brother. He's relationship counselor, relationship expert. He just wrote this book, Ready for a Relationship. His official release is actually this coming Sunday at 5:00. So y'all come walk with us from 4 to 5. Then at 5:00, we're gonna hop on and support my brother for his official book release. But he's graciously sponsored me for September. Tune in September. I'll be giving away copies of this book, Ready for a Relationship. It is available on Amazon, or you can contact him on Facebook, AB Bracewell. As you can see at the bottom, AB Bracewell, to get a copy of it. Thank you guys for everyone who watched. Thank y'all for coming on, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Like this was a heavy episode, real heavy episode. I think we did a lot of good with this episode, and I'm looking forward to busting it up and chatting with you guys again, man. Thank you to all my viewers. Love y'all. Signing off. Peace. And we are